Friends, welcome to Center for Online Education, Uttar Pradesh Russian and Open University. We are on the series of human resource management, and today we are taking the crux of the human resource management, that is planning. We are going to discuss about the human resource planning. It is one of the most important and the vital component of any human resource practices. Now the question arises why? Because all the human resource activity depends upon the human resource planning, which is also known as HRP. Now let us explore that what is human resource planning. So human resource planning is the continuous process of systematic planning to achieve optimum use of the organization's most valuable asset, quality employee. Means it is all about the process of acquiring the best talent for the organization. Now this best talent comes from a big research and development process which an organization used to do, at what type of job is being required and who are the person who are going to do the job. So to make a competent set of skilled workers in your organization is all about the human resource planning. HR planning ensures the best fit between employees and job while avoiding manpower shortage and suppliers. Means there is a lot of turnover of an employee when an organization starts working. Why? Because there is a chances that a good and a skilled employee being poached by another organization. In the IT companies, you will see that a good talented employee who has got a great skills is being taken by another company by offering him more perks, more salary, more compensation system, more various types of incentives, so that that employee leaves the organization and go for the another organization. So this creates a shortage of organizational employee over there. So to reduce the shortage of the employee and the best practices, the best strategies you can make, that a employee is properly replaced by another employee when the transfer or the retirement of the job of an employee is being done. So these are the two important components for human resource planning. Moving ahead, we are going to see that what is human resource planning. So as you all know, human resource is all about recruiting the person. That starts with the job analysis process, that who is the person who is going to do the job, what are the capabilities, qualification, competency, skills which a person possesses. So human resource is all about recruiting a person, then induction, proper practices which is being given to him, training and development of the employee, appraisal which is being taken timely, then compensation system you are going to take, the salary you are going to give, and apart from that, the safety measures you are going to acquire. So here you can see that human resource management, when we talk about, starts with the hiring of an employee. When we hire an employee, we used to do the job analysis process. When the job analysis is all about what type of employee you are going to get for an organization. So here job analysis is very important. So hiring starts with the recruitment process. Recruiting is what? Recruiting is you are going to attract the most suitable, the most competent, the most skilled employee for your organization. It is all about attraction. You are just offering the job. Recruitment is not about selection process. Selection starts with a process where recruitment is going to be end. So recruitment is just a process of offering a job. It is a positive process where an organization used to attract the employees or the future employees towards the organization, that this organization has got this much brand, and if you are working for the organization, automatically your competency and your perks will be greater than the other in the market. So here it is all about a positive process. When we come into the benefits, what are the perks which is going to get? The salary which an employee is going to get, the compensation system, the safety measures. So all are going to be talked about the benefits which an employee is going to get when he is performing the job. Apart from this, an organization also used to analyze that if he is recruiting that employee, what is the worth of that employee for the organization. So benefit for both the organization as well as the individual is being taken into consideration when we talk about the benefits. Then we come to the evaluation process. Evaluation process is all about doing the performance appraisal, doing the potential appraisal of an employee. When we take the appraisal of an individual employee and we used to take it and give the feedback to the higher organization, higher top of management, we call it a performance appraisal process. And when we take the whole competencies of a group of persons or an organization or a system or a department, a cell, a unit, we say that how much a person is going to learn more skills for a better employee of tomorrow. We say that we are assessing the potential of an employee, and that is known as the potential development. Then you are going to give the training. Training is all about increasing the KSAO level of an employee, where K stands for knowledge, S stands for skills, A stands for attitude of a person, and O stands for other characteristics, which is the values, the faith, and the skills which a person used to possess. So, training is also given to an employee to increase, to enhance his work and reduce the wastage. So, this is very important function. And at last, you talk about the compensation process, the salary which is going to appear for the skills which he possesses. So, for a good human resource planning, these activities must be done by an organization beforehand. Why? Because once you acquire an employee, it is very difficult for an organization to remove that employee. Because somewhere or the other, if you are going to recruit a wrong employee for your organization, he will become a liability rather than an asset. So every organization in the modern world wants that his employee will be the asset for the organization. So this process is very important when we talk about the human resource planning. Now what is the objectives of human resource planning? That is very important, because we have to see that these objectives must align with individual as well as with the organization as a whole. The first one is find and attract the skilled employee. Skills are very important. Why? In the future, when I am going to tell you about the job analysis, you can see that job analysis will be divided into two parts: job description and job specification. Job description is all about the organizations, and job specification is all about the individual. What the organization is going to give you, and what skills, what qualification you possess. This must be properly aligned. And when this is properly aligned, you will get the best employee for your organization. Means, take an example that for a financial analysis, you required the qualification of a CA. So you cannot take a BCom graduate and you can say that you are going to do the financial analysis. No. For financial analysis, and if the job analysis says that you want a CA, you must acquire a chartered accountant for that specific work. Why? Because chartered accountant possesses the skills which is being required to complete that task. Now, the second one is select, train, and reward the best candidate. Now, selection is a negative process, as you all know. Why? Because recruitment is a positive process where we are going to attract an individual for the job. Then we used to say that we screen the candidates. Screening of candidate means these are the candidates who matches with the standard of our qualification, of our minimum requirement which is being needed for the job. So selection is a negative process where we used to keep the deviants away from the job. We say, we start taking interview and we used to deviate the persons who are not suitable for the job, and the person who is being left, whom the organization cannot deviate, will be selected automatically. So here, when the employee is being selected,
he must be given proper training. The first one is the induction training, that what is the work you are going to do, how you are going to carry your task, and what are the requirements that you are required for that specific job. Then reward means all about salary, compensation system, safety measures which is being there. Is there any policy of a company that he is going to reward the best employee in the form of any monetary or non-monetary rewards? So all these things must be taken for the best candidate. Keep employee motivated means the skills which an employee has and the work which he is carrying must be properly aligned. And if the leader of that organization comes and says that you are doing the best of yourself, automatically the employee used to give his best. This enhances his motivational power, and somewhere or the other, the employee feels that he is somewhere self-motivated and self-satisfied. So, for increasing the satisfaction level of an employee, it is very important for the top level management that he should ensure that he motivates all his employees. Then, cope up with absentees and deal with the conflicts. As you all know that an organization is composed of individual persons coming from different cultures and different backgrounds. So it is obvious that to carry an important task, there are different thoughts process which comes into process. And these thought process or some suggestions which is being pouring over there may be conflicting to each another. So to reduce that conflict or to keep away that conflict from the organization and reduce the absenteeism means sometimes the individual employee keeps away from the organization when a certain task is being done. Why? Because he feels that he is competent enough, but the organization hasn't have give the due respect to that candidate. Or the second case will be vice versa, means the organization wants him to do that task, but he is not capable enough to complete that task. In both cases, the employee, the individual used to keep away himself from the job. So this increases the absenteeism, means a person doesn't go to his job. Therefore, to reduce the absenteeism and to deal with the conflict, that there will be no conflict in the organization, we say that we are going to do the human resource planning. Then succession planning. As I have told you, that after a certain time frame, the organizational structure is going to change. Why? Because some employees used to leave the organization for the better salary, for the better organization, and sometimes due to the age factor, the employee retires. So, an organization has to plan that who is the person who is going to replace that specific person. Because in the top level management, it is all about making strategies and implementing that strategies. You cannot keep that place without any person. You cannot place any person over that job. Means you are going to get the best talent over there. So, for doing the succession planning, you require the human resource planning because it tells that this is the person who is going to be the future head of that organization. So, human resource planning helps and fulfills the objectives of a succession planning. Then promotes employee or lets some of them go. After a certain frame of time, an organization used to feel that these are the employees which is being required for an organization. And these are the employees who are not productive enough for that specific organization. It might be they are productive enough for another organization. So, the person who are productive for the organization are being given promotion at time. So, these persons are motivated and keeps on working for that organization. While the other who don't get promotion on time or salary enhancement on time, they leave the organization and join another organization where their competency matches with the job. So, the objective of human resource planning is a simple manner, tells that who are the person who are going to be the asset for an organization and who are the person who are going to be the liability for an organization. Keeping away the liability and increasing the asset of an organization is the main objective of human resource planning. Next point, keep tabs on the trends that could impact future supply and demand. From where you are going to get the best manpower, and for this, what are the best resources you can take? Means taking a person and giving him the right job. So it is all about the demand and supply. So the best supply in the market is all about the best talent you are going to search from an institution or from the marketplace. So there must be a balance between demand and supply. You are going to recruit the best talent for the employee because this talent is going to give the best productive output in the productive manner, reducing the wastage. So human resource planning is all about these 6 points which we have talked about. Moving ahead, we have to see that what are the factors affecting human resource planning, because this is also very important that some factors are working for the organization while some factors are negative for the organization. So the factors can be divided into two parts. The first is internal part and the second is external part. Or you can say first is external part or the second is internal part. External part is somewhere where organization has the least control, while the internal part is the place where you can work on it and you can change the scenario. Now, first we are going to explore the external factors. The first one is the government policies. The organization and its management has a minimum control over the organizational policies. So, the policies, the laws which is being made by an organization is all about the external factor. If the government is going to help an individual or an organization and gives a proper policy which is being organizational friendly or industrial friendly, then the human resource planning can be properly done. Economic factors means whether there is a depression, recession in the economy or the economy is going to the boom. When the economy is on the rise, you are going to get the best employee. When it is a boom, the people used to leave the organization and goes to another organization for a better salary. Then business environment factor. In business environment factor, we used to do the two analysis, that is known as the pest analysis and SWOT analysis. Means the environment which we check, the political environment, the economical environment, the social environment, the technological environment. These environment in the country, then we do the individual, that is strength, weakness, opportunity and the threat. On this basis, we say that whether the factors, these factors are going to help the organization for the increase of productivity or not. Then information technology. IT is a good medium of communication. But somewhere or the other, IT is also harming the individual growth. Why? Because there are different social medias which is being placed over there, and these social media platforms used to kill the valuable time of an employee. Moving ahead, we are talking about the level of the technology. There are the different levels of the technology and the skills which a person must require to learn that technology. So, both must be properly aligned. A person who has got a technical mind used to compete with the best level of the technology, while those who haven't have the knowledge of technology used to compete with the less level of the technology. Then the internal factor, that is known as the organizational strategies, that what organization wants from an employee in the future, whether organization wants to keep him or not. So all these factors must be considered into the point when you are going to do the human resource plan. Then HR policies. when you are going to give him the promotion, what is the salary hikes you are going to give, what is the perk which is going to get, what is the packages which is going to get, what are the safety measures you have to give. It is all being done in the HR policies. Then planning period. As soon as you are going to acquire a person, before that, you require that you have to do a proper research and development. And R&D is being based on the data of another company who is working on the same specific area. If you are starting a software company, you have to do R&D of the industries which are working in the software. So proper research and development is to be made before you are going to do the things. And this R&D time is very important for a better HR planning. The more time you take, the more best result you get. Then job analysis. As I have told you, that job analysis is all about analyzing the job. Who is the person who is going to do the job? What is the qualification required for that specific job? And what are the skills which is being needed? The job analysis portion is being divided into two parts, that is known as job description and job specification. Job description tells about all the things which an organization wants from an employee, and job specification is all about what an individual possesses. Then future program. What are the future program of an organization? How he is going to expand his business? What are the measures? What are the policies, vision which an organization has? So the vision which an organization have must be properly aligned with the HR policies, because by making or achieving all the objectives of an HR, you are going to achieve that bigger vision. And once the objectives are being achieved, automatically the whole organizations work for the development of a better organization. Now on the last slide, we will see that what are the objectives, what are the goals of the human resource planning. The first one is get the best out of the current employee and increase their values. Means the employee you have recruited has got the skills, he is competent enough. Now the goal of an employee or the goal of an organization is this, that you have to get the best out of him. And this can only be done when you feel that your employee is being satisfied, motivated, and being not deviated from his job or the goal which is going to perform. The more security you will provide to an employee, the more productive the employee will be. The more perks you are going to give an employee, the more efficient your employee will be. The leave structure. So all these things, somewhere or the other, used to increase the value of an employee. Now has a competitive advantage in its industry. As I have taken an example of IT companies. You have got different IT companies, Infosys, Tata, SCL, Microsoft. So all the companies are working in the software field. So if you have got a competent enough employee, you are going to have got a competitive edge over the other organization. You can bring the best technology in a previous manner rather than the other. You are going to introduce the best technology in a best manner before the other companies used to do. So this has got the competitive edge, and this competitive edge can only be achieved if you have got a proper employee, and that is all what human resource planning used to do. And the last one is, it is better placed, responsible change and to adapt the change. Means if there is change in a technology which has been coming, change in the pace of the things which are going to do. Take an example of a cricket match. First test matches will be played 5 days, then you have got one-day matches, now you have got 20-20 matches. And somewhere or the other you are going to replace that 20-20 by T10 also. So whole concepts have changed. So according to the changes, you require your person individual. When you are playing in a test match, you have to keep your wickets up intact. But when you are playing for 20-20, you are going to achieve the runs rather than the intacting your wicket. Who are the person who can score quickly rather than the person who is not going to impact his wicket. So some way or the other, to respond the challenges which is being there in an organization, and helping to that changes being done in a proper manner. There will be no resistance in change in an organization. When an organization is changed, you have to do a proper HR planning. So, HR planning is a process where you are going to plan for the best employee, where you are going to get the employee, and what are the skills you are required for that employee, and whether you are going to implant that employee for the organization. So, planning is all about getting the best and using that best for the best of the organization. I hope you have understood. Thank you.